It's Salvaje. I'm back at it again with another Fortnite Save the World in-depth weapon review. I'm reviewing the Earsplitter Spear. And of course, if you guys want to support the channel, feel free to use my creator code Salvaje. And if you guys are going to buy Borderlands 3, feel free to use my creator code Salvaje as well. So this is a spear that has the stabby primary attack. And I've already said in the past how I feel about the stabby attack, but I'm going to repeat it because obviously there's people that haven't watched my previous spear videos, like the Steam Skewer one. But the stabby attack is just terrible. I hate it. Some people like it, some people don't mind it. I'm one of those people that, again, I just hate the stabby attack. It's really slow, which lowers the efficiency and the amount of kills that you can obtain with a melee weapon. My criteria for reviewing melee weapons, is what's the efficiency that the weapon has. This weapon is capable of doing massive amounts of damage, just like other spears like the Steam Skewer and Sir Lancelot. But if the weapon isn't effective at killing Husk very quickly, then the weapon, at least in my eyes, it's not going to be on my top 5 favorite weapons, for example, or the top 5 melee weapons that I'm going to be running the most. So that's the one weakness that this Earsplitter has, right? The primary attack is just really slow, right? Keep in mind, with melee weapons, you want to be as efficient and as effective as possible, which is why you need to have something that is going to eliminate a lot of Husk at the close ranges very quickly. And luckily enough, actually, the Earsplitter does have a secondary attack. You stab it on the ground, and then of course it starts releasing a shockwave like you guys are seeing in the background. And it is great. It is able to destroy Husk very quickly. However, if you don't have a loadout that caters towards the secondary attack of the weapon, you're not going to be able to use the secondary attack very often, which means that this weapon loses effectiveness big time. Like I said, the primary stabby attack is not really exceptional when you have a lot of Husks surrounded, and this is a melee weapon. You are going to have a lot of Husks surrounding you because you're going to be fighting at melee range. But look at this clip in the background, guys. This is me with a loadout that is able to maximize the power of this Earsplitter. And what I'm doing here is I'm just sitting at spawn doing absolutely nothing. I'm just holding right click. The Husks are coming towards me. I just keep getting kills. It's amazing. If you have a loadout that caters towards a secondary attack of the Earsplitter, this weapon can be very fun, okay? However, if you don't have a loadout that caters to the weapon, and if you don't have the correct heroes to be more precise, you're not going to be able to get the most out of this weapon. And as you guys know, a top tier weapon in my eyes is a weapon that can perform good with or without a loadout that caters to the weapon. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This is not a 5 out of 5 star weapon just because of that reason. But it is a top tier weapon that fulfills its role really well. If, of course, you have heroes that make the weapon really powerful. I mean, look at this gameplay clip, guys. I'm going against power level 138 Husk, and I am just destroying these guys. And I just want to point out, my loadout, the loadout that I'm using right now, isn't even fully catering the weapon, right? I have medicinal fumes in this loadout. I have glowing coconuts in this loadout to nerf the power of Dim Mak. I could have easily gone with Blast from the Past, all right, with this lady, and probably like slap on the hero that lowers spear efficiency so that I can last even longer. I could have slapped on Survivalist, so as I kill Husk and spawn, I'm constantly regenerating health and I don't die. This thing has so much potential. Like my friend Jeremy was telling me the other day, yo, Salvaje, this weapon is going to be really powerful with Blast from the Past. Look, the point is that if you don't have any of the heroes that are going to make this weapon good, this weapon is just a 3 out of 5 star, which is a really good rating when it comes down to my weapon ratings. A 3 out of 5 star weapon is just a weapon that's effective, right? But a weapon that lacks consistency in important areas. And the consistency that this weapon lacks when you don't really cater towards it is that it's just a basic spear with a secondary attack that is going to be able to last a little bit, right? Because you can't really have like the regenerating energy of Anti-Kotosera. And that's why when it comes down to the star rating, guys, I have to give the weapon a 3 out of 5 star. It's a 3 out of 5 star weapon because I don't review weapons based on, what's this thing called, how good they are if you have the right heroes, right? I review weapons overall. I review weapons looking at it from all levels of play, all skill levels. But if you have anti-cuddle Sarah, if you have survivalist Jonesy, if you have the dino heroes, like I told you guys you should get multiple times, this weapon is god tier, okay? I will say this though, the secondary attack, I'm not really that much of a huge fan of it as other people. And the reason for that is because with a Spectral Blade, I can sort of, you know, move more and kill things faster. The secondary attack basically makes it so that you can't you can't go out and seek targets. Targets basically have to come to you. And that works really well on defensive modes, like, you know, evacuate the shelter, repair the shelter, all of the other defensive modes. But with some of the other modes, like rescue the survivors, right? So let's say that unless you're pretty much standing on top of a survivor, like the husk might just ignore you and might go after the survivor, right? But again, man, look, I'm really conflicted when it comes down to this weapon, right? Because it's a good weapon, like I said, if you have the right heroes. But if you don't have the right heroes, it's something that you should not level up and you should not perk up. I'll just leave it at that. Recommended perks, critical rating, double crit damage, and armor. That's what I rock with. And the damage boost that the weapon gets, I didn't really notice much because at the end game levels of play, I already do enough damage, so the damage boost just felt like something glitchy, I guess. I gave the damage boost to my teammates sometimes, and I was like, okay, that's cool, they have a damage boost, but it wasn't something that I was super crazy about because I don't know the numbers. And as you guys know, I don't really focus on the numbers because what I like to focus on is how good the weapon is utility-wise and all of that other stuff. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll be seeing you guys on the next one. And be on the lookout, of course, for my super crazy build that I'm going to have with this Earsplitter once I have a little bit of more time to test it out.